Hey everybody, my name is Kartik Subramaniam. I'm a real estate entrepreneur here in Southern California. I'm the founder of a very large real estate education company. Absolutely love what I do. I have a passion for the business. I'm happy to have found it. Follow my journey here on YouTube.
Hey everybody, Kartik Subramaniam over at ADHI Schools. Got a little bit of a current event for you here. Inman News is reporting that a real estate photographer has just filed a lawsuit against Zillow for improper use of his images. So typically what photographers do, you have one of two things that can happen with a photographer that you have an agreement with. In one case, the photographer will take the photos and the video for you and say that you own all of the licenses and the rights and it's your intellectual property, and that's one route that photographers take, that the client owns everything. Another route that photographers can take is that photographers can actually give a limited license to the client. So some photographers might say, for example, hey look, I'll come out there and take the pictures, but I still own all the rights to the photos. Now, in this Zillow lawsuit, this photographer, Mr. Gutenberg, has that second type of relationship with his real estate agent. So he tells real estate agents, apparently, that, hey look, I'll take all the photos of the property for you, then I'll hand over the photos to you, but I still own the rights to the content. I'm giving you a limited 1-year license. This is what Inman's reporting according to the lawsuit. The photographer gives the agent a limited 1-year license to use it to upload to the MLS and to market the property and to use it in brochures and all this. But in the agreement with the photographer and the real estate agent, in this case, the photographer still owned all the intellectual property. Now, of course, the way Zillow works is Zillow takes the photos off of the MLS through an API called IDX or Inter Data Exchange. So Zillow is basically taking the photos that the agent puts on the MLS and then re-putting them on Zillow. So in this lawsuit, Mr. Gutenberg is saying that Zillow used the agent's photos, which really the photographer owned, and improperly used them on the Zillow site without the appropriate license to Mr. Gutenberg. So this is a pretty major lawsuit that I would watch and try to keep track of, because how photographers and videographers use their work will ultimately determine what you then can do with the work, and then that'll be a precedent, I think, going forward for how photographers either are or are not compensated through these sites like Zillow and Redfin and Truly and all these other sites. So a link in the description box to the Inman News article so you can have a look. And if you haven't connected with me on Instagram, I'd love to do that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But more importantly, I'd love to know what you think about this. Do photographers have the right to say to, for example, Zillow and Redfin, hey, you're improperly using these photos? And I'm not so sure, because Zillow's agreement might only be with the realtor member. If the realtor member didn't properly disclose that to Zillow, maybe that's another thing. I don't know, but this is definitely a lawsuit in California that I would keep my eye on, especially if you have a photographer that you're working with, or even if you take photos on your own. Are you allowing Zillow to use those properly? I'm sure Zillow's legalese and their terms of service cover this, but now this question is, can a third party dictate what Zillow does with the photos? So would love for you to drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks.